Previously on Unranked.
You know, like you used to go to the dentist's office, it used to be like comfy and homey and warm. Now the smilist is all like modern.
No, this is Tom. Everything he says about
that.
the dentist is
What?
wrong.
What are you talking about?
Comfy, homey, and warm at the dentist.
Yeah, I've never used
Yeah.
never used any of those descriptors for the dentist in my life.
I have a good
my
time at the
life.
dentist.
What are you talking about?
I have a good time. They got the TV
What's
there.
that mean?
I go every year for a nice little checkup.
Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome to the Unranked podcast. Tom and I are laughing because I realized just this second to hit record. Tuna's coming, or hopefully, I think he's probably doing something with the kid. He sent a message. He was like, "Just start without me. I'm running behind." So,
I know you'll add in the previously on in the you'll edit it in, but please leave that because it was perfect. The Zoom coming in during the theme of please or of.
I will add that sound in.
It was so funny. It was the comedic timing on it was brilliant.
There was like a moment where I was like, "Fuck, it's gonna tell Tom. I can't, I can't. There's no sneaky way to get away with the recording."
It was funny. No, it was funny. It was almost the timing on it was so good that it was almost it was
almost on purpose.
A joke. Yeah.
Had it been a joke, it would have been a good joke.
It would have been.
All right. The 464th
Let's just get into
episode of the podcast. This is Christian Humes here with Tom Caswell. Tuna's on his way. And that means we're going to start with the 464th Pokemon.
That means we can rank it without having his... Oh, God damn it.
What?
No, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it.
Okay. All right. Rhyperior. Yet another Pokemon getting a third evolution. I bet you're not going to like this one too, even though I think it's pretty cool. It is kind of ugly. Rhyperior is the evolution from Rhydon, which was the evolution from Rhyhorn. Very different color palette now. We're getting kind of like dirt rocks, like brown rocks, and it's kind of like a copper on him now, not just like a steel kind of colors. Bipedal. It's got these sort of like drill hands, drill face, just ground rock type. Tom, can you tell me about his name since Alex isn't here?
Yes, I can. Rhyperior.
Rhyperior. Oh, right. Okay. Yep.
Rhyperior, maybe a combination of rhinoceros, rhyolite, which is a type of rock, which is reference to his rock type, which is cool.
Yeah.
Hyperion and superior.
Sounds plausible to me.
Sounds plausible. Passes the plausibility test. Yeah, I mean you're bang on. I fucking hate this thing. I think it's an affront to the line. I think honestly.
Oh, my boy! What have they done to my boy?
I know it's so much.
Oh no!
Yeah, Rhyhorn and Rhydon are fucking dope ass Pokemon.
Honestly, Rhydon is like one of those top tier all time Pokemon designs.
It's so good, and then they put him in a fucking rock diaper.
I had to see him again to remember how good it was.
Yeah,
man, it's bad.
This is really bad.
They made him such a dope.
And why does he have holes in his hands? Why is that a thing? It doesn't make any sense either because he's a dinosaur. The cool thing about Rhydon and Rhyhorn is they're dinosaurs, and then they were like, let's mash him up with Gollum and
the thing.
And the thing, the orange rocks look terrible. The color scheme is awful.
Yep. This is the worst. Look, it's the worst generation of Pokemon. I
4?
really think Gen 4.
Wow, worse than 3. 3's bad.
3 was bad. Fine.
3 is bad.
It's got the worst
It's second to
add-ons.
last from where we are for sure.
Yeah, 3 and 4 are definitely. Oof. I'll say this: Gen 9 might have been a buggy ass game. Great fucking new Pokemon in that game.
Yeah, it did have
Great new
good,
Pokemon.
It was a good gen for the pokes for sure. God, come on, let's make more good Pokemon games.
Yeah,
Let's
man,
get
Legends
back to making
ZA,
them
and then
good.
and then the next gen. Let's get a good one on there. You know, let's fucking do it. All right, let's do this list. Let's get this. Let's be done with this.
Is there a
There is a fact. I read the fact. You're right.
A thing.
Let's go back to the GOAT, Legends Arceus. This Pokemon evolved through the use of a curious item. Its rock-like hide is composed of mysterious substance and can withstand a blow from a masterwork sword with nary a scratch.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. All of these like new evolutions are all like you've got to do something specific. This one is trade while holding a protector. Ugh,
I think
like,
they partially do that because it's like, well, are they just going to add it in an evolution like a regular? Because then it's like,
no,
why
they're
did this not
yeah,
have it all?
they're
of a
not.
sudden?
I'm not surprised that it is some kind of new mechanic or not even new. I mean, you had to trade evolve was in the original, obviously the original generation, but yeah,
Man, they had it
it's
with Megas.
It's a disappointment. They had it with Megas.
They had it with Megas. They
had
could
it
have
with
just
Megas.
just keep. In fact, Megas was so good that they did use it again in the following generation, and then they stopped using it. Like,
Yeah.
just go back to Mega Evolution.
They didn't have
good.
Megas in the next gen. The next gen had Z moves because it was Sun and Moon, right? X and Y, then Sun and Moon. Yeah, 7, and then because X and Y is 6, 7 is Sun
You know
and
what? I
Moon.
might be lumping in the mid-gen, the Gen 3 remake.
Oh, yes.
Because
Omega
they had
Ruby
new Megas in
and
that.
Alpha Alpha had Megas.
And that was
That's
such a
correct.
big remake that it felt, you know what I mean? So that's why I did that.
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are like vast improvements over those original games. Anyway, yeah. So it's
Just bring back Mega.
Yeah.
I do think that Z moves is something that like made sense, like from a concept point, like some kind of like super powerful moves that only certain Pokemon and types can learn. But like every Pokemon should be capable of them, and it shouldn't require like gemstones and other things. They like should have made like a narrative mechanic. Like you have to like go achieve this thing with just this Pokemon to like do, you know?
In my list of like, so what the gimmick started with what, like 6, right? So we've had 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, there was no gimmick thing in
because
Black
the
and
first
White.
generation had things like stones and
Not
trade
anything
evolutions.
that, like Megas was the first thing that was like there is a new button in the fucking thing that you press, you know, and that's become the thing of like Z moves, and then there's I would Megas at the top, way at the top. Then you've got, I think actually Gen 9's Bejeweled or whatever it was called.
That's the second best
change.
one. Yeah,
that's second best. Then Gigantamax, with a bit of a drop between those two, and then all the way at the bottom, in the basement's basement, you've got fucking.
I agree. I think Z moves is executed the poorest, but I think arguably should be second. It should be second place if it had been done properly. It didn't need to be like something where I'm synchronized with they're just let the Pokemon learn a special move.
Yeah,
that's all it needed to be.
Yep.
It also could have been a way for them to break away from having only 4 attacks. The Z move could have been a special type of action. You know, they could have come up with a new action mechanic that you had to learn through like a narrative part of the game, and every Pokemon could be capable of it. But instead, they were like, no, you synchronize with your Pokemon and you do like moves, and then, fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. All right, let's put him on the list. He's going towards the bottom.
I almost think that he's right above Licky Licky.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, right, just right above it, and it's not a big.
You can put it in.
It's not a big jump. Like this is on any given
second
day.
To last.
I might put Licky Licky above it.
Second to last.
Only because I'm just not a Lickitung. Like I've never liked Lickitung. I like Rhydon. That's the
I
problem.
like both. I think they're both awesome.
Lickitung is a solid Pokemon, but it's not one that I'm
It's no Rhydon.
putting on the. He's not going on the team. He's not going to the Elite Four. Let's be real.
Yeah.
A good Rhydon will get you far. Hey.
All right. So what do you think Alex is doing?
I think that his
I think he's
lovely
watching
daughter
Ponyo.
is.
I think he's finishing Ponyo.
No.
I do. I think
No, because I think he'd already watched it before last week.
I don't think he did, and I think he's watching like a YouTube video that's like Ponyo in 30 minutes, and he's just watching that because he dislikes this movie.
I think that I think it's an Avery. I think it's his daughter.
Yeah,
not
probably is. Or he's watching The Traders.
That could be.
That's actually very possible.
No, he's not. He wouldn't push the podcast later.
Severance.
He wouldn't push the podcast
yeah, you're right.
later.
He would. You know what he would do?
He
He would just watch it while we're doing the podcast.
Yeah. Depending on how the podcast was going.
We played some video games. I was going to talk about this.
We have done
with Alex, obviously. Mm-hmm. What do you got off? What do you got off topic?
Off topic.
Yeah, just because if we're going to talk about playing games together,
I agree. And I have to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadow, so it would be better for Tuna to be here for that. Off topic. God, what has happened? I mean, it's been there's been things happening this week in the world that have been we're just repeating the very beginning of the podcast, right? Because that was oh no, we would have already done the podcast for like a little bit under a year last time. Anyway, in 2017. What have we been up to? I don't think I have anything off topic. Oh, I went to
Tom, you were supposed to have the wife out of the house all weekend and you were going to play games and get a lot done. And then you were MIA all weekend. So what did you do?
Oh, well, you guys, I was waiting for someone to hit me up. I was like, I'm waiting to I had to direct that. I watched, I've gotten through most of Creature Commandos, which is the first official DC project under James Gunn. It is a cartoon, an animation, very violent. So think
it's for adults.
Invincible, even maybe more, but that kind of level of violence, and it's even more gratuitous, I'd say. It follows. It's essentially the Suicide Squad, but the idea being they're all monsters.
Yeah.
Because it opens up with like. It's connected to the DCEU in the sense that like Rick Flag Sr., who was played by Frank Grillo, who was Crossbones. He was in Winter Soldier. He played like the head of the evil S.H.I.E.L.D. team that was, Nazis. So Frank Grillo, he plays Rick Flag Sr. And in the opening, he's with Amanda Waller, who is played by Viola Davis, who was playing her in the DCEU, and they're talking about how his son died in the Suicide Squad movie. That was, so there is like remnants, I guess, of that. I think this is just like there will be history that makes sense, and then they're gonna like change canon where it makes sense as well. I think that's their plan going forward. But the idea being that they shut down the Suicide Squad program and no human can be used in such a thing or whatever, no human prisoner. And Amanda Waller's like, well, we have non-human prisoners, and so they use these monsters. It's fun. It's good. It's really solid. I mean, look, James Gunn is just, I think, at a fundamental level, just like a really solid storyteller. I think that he and you know, he has this kind of like shotgun approach to like comedy and writing where some of it doesn't hit, and there's definitely some things in this like his other projects, you know, like Guardians 3 had a lot of stuff for me that like didn't hit, but like where it hits, I think it really sticks. So it's a strong start. I mean, you know, I'm excited for this Superman film. We'll see where that nets us. I'm kind of in a bit of a DC mood right now because I'm also I've been doing reading. I've been reading a lot. Okay, so I've gotten through um Authority, which is the second book in the Annihilation trilogy. Now moving on to it's another A word. Absolution, I think, may be the third book. Really good. The second book, it's funny reading it.
The
and like
movie, how much of a departure is it from the books?
big,
Okay.
big.
I was gonna say
Because it
there's not
was
like really room for like a sequel film, right?
the
Based on
first.
books.
So the the first book is a lot weirder than the movie, and the movie's pretty weird, but it's definitely a bit more straightforward than what the book is. Um, they were basically wrote in tandem, and that was like the whole pitch is like we'll write this book and it will come out, and then like months later the movie will come out.
Yeah.
So the book wasn't really finished when Alex Garland started adapting it. And so Alex Garland filled in some blanks, and there's a lot of connective tissue, but the two are very different. The book is better in my opinion. It's way more interesting, um, and essentially the second book is um, it's not about being in the area X, which is what is Annihilation. The second book is essentially almost like a Severance kind of thing where it's the all the people that work at the agency that like monitors the area, and it's a sequel, but it takes place after the events of the first book, but it's from the a character who works at that facility's perspective. So it in itself is very different in a lot of ways from the first book, but again, I think no less compelling. I found myself pretty riveted by it. I think it's a bit more slower going because it kind of is just like an office kind of thing for a while, and then like things start happening and it gets very interesting. So I've been reading that, been reading One Piece, which I know you're excited about.
Yeah. What
We
are you
are
up to?
in I'm reading them by the volume, so I think I'm like volume 12 or
Hmm.
13. So this is they're facing off against the Baroque works for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten it's slow going. It isn't like oh my god, I'm flying through this. I will say though that this is definitely um I definitely feel more engaged by the story now for sure. Kind of it is set up almost like a video game, which really I was tickled by. And I thought that was cool. And I'm reading this version with color. Then that is
Yeah, the
definitely
color's
also
nice.
the color's nice, and it does make it easier to like tell what is happening in the art.
Yeah.
And so like that is a big plus. So enjoying that. And then but then also reading I've been reading comics, and the I started reading the Absolute DC line, which is their Marvel Ultimate line take, right? It's just new beginnings, different versions of an alternate version of the DC universe, comic universe. Um, and there's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and I read the Batman ones. I do have the Superman and Wonder Woman ones. I haven't gotten to reading them yet, but Absolute Batman is pretty fucking good. I am kind of shocked that it's Scott Snyder who wrote the New 52 Batman, which was like the one line among all the New 52 stuff that was pretty well heralded. He created the Court of Owls, who became a very popular Batman villain. This is very different. It actually is a completely the kind of general what if is what if Bruce Wayne was poor? What if he had grown up in like a normal family with he had all the smarts, he had all the brains, but he didn't have the resources. And that's the core conceit. There's a lot of layers to it. It's very, very well done, but that's like the kind of immediate hook. His mom is still alive, but his dad died. Like there's a lot of different changes there. And it's really good. Like honestly,
Okay.
if anyone has been considering getting back into comics or starting comics, right now, Marvel has done restarted their Ultimate line of comics, which is very good, and that's only been going on a year. Although there is a lot of books out now at this point because they have like 5. It's become very popular, which is what happened with the Ultimate line, and then it ended up getting just as bloated as the 616 normal line, and then it literally collapsed in on itself. And I'm concerned that this is going to happen with this.
It's going to happen to all stuff. It's going to happen to the MCU. It's just,
Right.
it's the nature of comics. The more characters and storylines and things that are interconnected, eventually, just like, yeah, we need to just blow this whole thing up.
Yeah, which I think obviously will happen. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's been that. Me and Brooke hit the Act 2 final boss in Path of fucking Exile is a son of a bitch. And we have just been like trying to chip away at that. And had not Oh god, we came really fucking close one time. The problem is like he just takes so much damage that one run takes a lot. Like if we got like 3/4 of the way through his health, and like it had been a good like 15-20 minutes easy
Yeah.
of chipping away. Yeah, good game. And they put out a patch recently that fixed some stuff, but there's still a lot of little issues, of course, because it is early access. Yeah. I was gonna talk about, I played the first level of this Ninja Gaiden 2 Black remake 'cause it's on Game Pass, so I just downloaded that this afternoon. And I was gonna save it because I actually thought it was interesting to contrast it against my time with Assassin's Creed, which it's looking increasingly like Tuna's not gonna show up anytime soon, so I
Yeah,
might just
that's
jump
what I was
into
thinking.
that. Well, let's just do that. Fuck it. So Assassin's Creed Shadows. Spent 4 hours playing it. I was playing remotely, so I was essentially streaming it via the Uplay app. They have some kind of like back end way to make it happen through the Connect app or whatever. And I'll say before we played, we got a little presentation that was the
It was on the
director.
LA Basin.
No, nothing will top that presentation. But this was a little 5-10 minute thing from the director, kind of saying, just giving a general overview, but also in that was saying what they had spent their time on in the 3 months that they had given themselves by extending with 3 or 4 months. Well, I guess it's 5, maybe even now, by extending the release date from last November to what was February, and then it got pushed to March. And they pointed to the parkour and the enemy AI as 2 big areas that they were really polishing. And I am shocked to say that it was actually very apparent in my time with it. A lot of people will point to Assassin's Creed Unity as the kind of pinnacle of the parkour mechanics in Assassin's Creed, and I think that this is the closest we've gotten to that. Naue, the ninja shinobi character, she feels great running
Is there a
around.
jump button?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, is it
Can you
I
jump?
I mean you can jump from building to build, like, like you can do parkour. I don't know if you can just jump. No. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. Is that have we not been able to in Assassin's Creed? Like I literally cannot
Correct. That was
remember.
always
Okay.
my complaint
Your
about that
thing.
series forever, is that I was like, I don't know why anyone finds the parkour compelling because you're just pushing forward. The character animates everything. You're not actually jumping or climbing or anything.
No, you are one. It is 100% the same there. Like it is once you get into the rhythm, you do have new tools in the parkour, like the grappling hook, which is great. Um, that being said, I don't think it's implemented entirely well. It feels good to use, but my one complaint is when a grappling point is available, the
Yeah.
only information you get is a little icon at the top that's pointing upwards saying you can grapple.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't mean like, oh, there's something
Where?
ahead of you that you can exactly. There's no directional. It's just
Yeah.
there's a grappling point. And sometimes it'll pop up and I'll be like, oh, I can swing over, and I throw it and it's like, oh no, I've latched to, okay, I guess we're going just up onto this roof that's above me. So that little UI thing is it needs to be fixed, or I just have to get used
Sure.
to it or whatever. But yeah, once you get into a flow with the parkour, I think it's kind of like the smoothest. Like the animation transitions are very, very, very fluid. So that's the one. But the one that was really impressive to me was the enemy AI. I thought the when I started my playthrough, one of the first things is like sneak into that base and like find these three things. So I'm trying to sneak around, and there's a cool mechanic. You can go fully prone, so you can lie fully down, which is cool, and you can also extinguish flames to create shadows, and you can hide in the shadows, and that is all for the most part very well implemented. But I was kind of shocked. I was trying to cheese it in the way that you can sometimes cheese Assassin's Creed stealth, by being very messy and sloppily, like assassinating people. But I was surprised how aware the enemy was, how hard it was to kind of lose their tail. Um, One of the things, someone caught me assassinating someone. Like they turned a corner as I like jumped down and assassinated. And usually you have a bit of a window in which before the enemy like actually activates into I'm going to attack you mode for you to sneak in like a little assassination. And and so I went to go assassinate them, but they noticed me so quickly that they were able to actually catch my hidden blade hand and like pull it away and like engage me in combat. And Nawe cannot take a lot of damage at all. Like
Yeah, so
she
you're fucked if that happens.
so you need to make sure that you're either it's just one on one, or you can break someone off or you run away. But yeah, in those situations I was running away and the enemy was like really on my ass. Like they were hard to lose, which I feel
You're like,
like is
fucking back off, bro.
which is not I feel like something that other Assassin's Creed games have had.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to lose a tail. It's pretty easy to cheese the stealth. So those two improvements are great. Honestly, my only like big kind of like red flag had nothing to do with the game. I think it's going to be one of the best made, most polished Assassin's Creeds. But, you know, especially in contrast with the playing this first fucking Ninja Gaiden level, which is linear and simple. You have a heavy attack, you have a light attack, you have basic items, you have powers that you discover. You can run along walls. There isn't like this RPG system. You're not
Mm-hmm.
finding fucking loot every 2 seconds. I had almost like a minor allergic reaction it felt to kind of playing the game, because when I opened up the map and I saw all of the here's a point of interest here, all of the bullshit and bloat in Assassin's Creed, I just kind of was like, I'm not in the mood to play this at all. Like I don't feel like refreshed. It doesn't feel like I've had years away from Assassin's Creed. Obviously they had Mirage and but Valhalla was a long time ago, but still like I don't know how I don't think there's anything here that pushes it doesn't push the envelope in a way that is going to feel fresh. It still
Yeah, but
very
it's just
much
a
feels like
remake.
Assassin's Creed. It's just a remake.
Yeah, you know, they're just doing another one, just another
Oh
Assassin's
yeah,
Creed, but
it
now
is. It is. Yeah,
in
It
Japan.
is just another Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
And I did play as
that
Yasuke,
sucks,
who
dude.
I did play as Yasuke. Well, like I said, I think it's going to depend on if you're in the mood for it.
I don't think I'm playing this one. I
Yeah,
think
I
I'm
mean,
skipping this one.
it just
Valhalla's the only one
depends.
I liked, and
It
this
just
is
depends on how much. It depends on how good the other games around it are. I feel, and
when is this coming out again?
well, this is coming out the end of March, but then now in the beginning of April, we have all these fucking Xbox games coming out that look great.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and there's gonna be like a secret indie game or two by then.
yeah, and there's a ton of shit. Avowed is coming out in February. Like that's,
Yeah,
like I'm definitely not gonna want to jump into Assassin's Creed like right after Avowed.
no,
So yeah, it's unfortunate. But look, we'll see. I think also like it didn't feel as good as it could have because I was streaming and it's not something like GeForce Now where
okay,
it's really
yeah.
good. This is
So
like
maybe it's more fun when you're playing the actual game.
it definitely would have been better if I'd been playing in because I definitely felt that the timing on like parrying, like I was losing fights really easily, and I just think
Sure.
that it could have been an issue there. And then the other thing I'll add is you can play as Yasuke and Naoi, and it is essentially Naoi is the stealthy character that does the parkour and sneaking around, and then Yasuke is the big brute who is you just do the fights, right? Essentially, like if you played Ghost of Tsushima, if you split Jin in half and you have like the samurai character and then you have the ghost that he becomes, they
The
that
Ghost of Tsushima.
the Ghost of Tsushima, and Yasuke can do almost no parkour, which I was like, well, that makes sense because he's a samurai and he's running around in samurai armor, but you know, uh, it was one of those things where I was like, if I do play this, I am probably going to play it most as Nawe because it's way more like the cream of these games is that stealth
Sure.
mechanic, and so honestly, I just busted Yasuke out in this preview when I was like frustrated with getting caught and like being murdered as Nawe, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna run in here, murder everyone as Yasuke, and find the like three objects I had to find in the vicinity." So I'll probably use him as like a break glass if necessary kind of character, and then go back to Nawe. Story seemed compelling as well. Like it
Should
is
let us do
set
a co-op. Let me play as one, you play as the other.
not with the way Ubisoft like adds these updates. Maybe that is coming down the line. Um,
I think co-op Assassin's Creed would actually be like a meaningful reason for me to be like really excited for an Assassin's Creed game,
mhm.
other than just like a setting, because the Japan setting had me really hyped, but the gameplay, like, I don't know, it just sounds like we're just doing it again.
I mean, so I think this is set. Let me double check, but I think it's set as like the character of who was the let me see. I'm just double checking that the character played by the Hiroki Sanada in Shogun.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's great.
Oh no, Toranaga. Okay. And when is this? When is it set? Yeah, I mean it is around the same time period as that series based on these dates, I think. Um so it seemed interesting. The story seemed interesting. There was the element of like the Portuguese being involved and all of that. Um all of that
Oh.
like intrigue was there. My biggest problem is like we played the prologue and then they threw us in at the deep end and put us like hours into the game. And so there's like a bunch of lords. And they all like I was having a little bit of trouble following the thread of the story just because like there are clearly like characters that I've come to know and things like that over the time that I just didn't have that context for. So those are my thoughts on Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Hell yeah.
And just in time, Tuna Marinella.
Hello? Sorry, I'm late. Kid was fucking around, which is happening more and more now at bedtime and at nighttime. Usually we were able to get her in the bath / shower at like 6:30, upstairs by 7, bedtime reading time, and then in bed by 7:30. No, she wouldn't have it today. Just was not. We weren't gonna fight it. So she wasn't tired. What are you gonna do? Then fucked around with the books. We usually read 3. She wanted to read like 5. It's just anyway. So happy to be here. Yep.
Great. Happy to have you here.
What do we got? What's on the docket?
Tom was just telling us quite a bit about the DC universe, and then we talked about Assassin's Creed and Ninja Gaiden 2.
The DC AC? ACDC?
Oh yeah, ACDC, yeah.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see you
sent me. Chill evening.
I see you sent me Ponyo images in a text, and I was thinking you're not up to Ponyo yet.
No.
Oh.
No,
Okay.
but we were just saying like
What?
I don't think Alex is making it. Is what we were.
I'm making it. If I say I'm gonna be, I'll be it.
I understand. That being said,
Jesus.
We felt like it was possible.
I got my goddamn Ponyo notes. Okay.
Yeah.
I got my notes.
So I was just sending Ponyo images to you as just like a reminder.
Yeah.
That we're doing Ponyo tonight.
I got my Ponyo written notes.
Okay, great.
I'm ready to go. I got it.
Great. That's good.
Can't wait.
It's exciting. We played some video games this week. Played some Walkabout mini golf. We played some Super Smash Brothers. We played some Goldeneye. We played Marvel Rivals. Where do you want to start?
Goldeneye. Start with Goldeneye.
Yeah, start with Goldeneye.
So
all right,
we were playing Smash on Switch, and because we were on Switch, Smash on Switch. We were playing Smash on Switch.
I will say something. Can I just say something about Smash for a second? I don't know if you feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this is because of the online component, but it feels a little bit floatier, like when you play online versus when you play live.
Sure. The online has some real delay lag. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Because I always feel like I'm trying to, like, if I'm trying to pick up something, like if I'm like we used to be able to run around on a map on a level, and like as you're passing the Pokeball, pick it up. Yep. Right? Like I feel like I cannot do that.
No, it's just the input lag because the I usually notice it immediately, and then after like a match or two, I just like adjust to it. I'm pressing everything a little bit earlier than I would to time everything.
Right. Okay. Anyway,
it's always been that way. It sucks. Apologies. They really need to use what's called rollback netcode, which is what has become the standard netcode for fighting games. People really wanted it for Smash. We didn't get it. I truly hope we get it the next time, because having rollback netcode would be great for that video game. We wouldn't have that delay lag issue. That would just be done.
Exactly. I played some DBZ Fighters Z or whatever online, and that I don't remember that being.
Mortal Kombat's fine. Street Fighter's like it's literally we just need to use the modern netcode, and we don't. But they also don't have chat, because when we
Right.
were playing Goldeneye, we were doing a FaceTime audio call because first when we went to use Discord, for whatever reason, Alex couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because it like the mic was lighting up on my end. I wasn't
Yeah.
muted.
Yeah.
Who knows? So, Nintendo's
Mhm.
gonna do what Nintendo does. They're
Well, I
like, I
think
know
when
you
we
want rollback netcode, but here's a
when we
mouse on your controller.
but when we booted up GoldenEye, though, it did say something like, "If you would like to chat, do this." But I don't actually remember
I
what
think
it
it may
said.
be text chat or something. It was funny
Oh my
booting up
God.
the Goldeneye into the into the thing because I forget who said it, but they were like, "Oh, this is the most online. This is the most like chat room online
Oh
Nintendo has
yeah,
ever
because
had."
I'd never done the online component for those virtual console things they have. Like, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you load up the N64, you have to tell it in that like, which I love the visual of all the game art because it looks like a flyer for like a old Blockbuster or Toys R Us, like
Sure,
electronics.
sure.
Like
Hmm.
that, I love that page. But it's
Hmm.
at that point that you need to be like, I'm playing online. You can't go into
Hmm.
the game like they didn't add the online mode, so they,
Right. You
they're
have to
emulating this
say,
experience.
right, exactly. I want to be online. Okay, great. You want to be online? Great. Who would you like to invite? Okay, I want to invite Christian. Okay, great. What game would you like to play now? Okay, great. Great. Now stay like this because you
Yeah.
can't do anything else.
Yep. But dude, it had a thing on the side that had my party, and I could send you an invite,
Yeah.
and it had you and
Yes.
Tom. I was like, this is the most
Yes.
novel
I
thing I've
mean,
ever
this
seen
is
on a
Yeah.
Nintendo
unbelievable.
system.
Unbelievable.
I never thought I'd see the day.
So what ended up happening was we booted up GoldenEye, and this is where I came
Oh,
into my element because the legacy controls are alive and well. The only problem was that because we were playing Smash first, I was playing with my GameCube controller, and
yeah.
those inputs weren't working. So as soon as I switched to handheld mode, then I was cooking because
Mm.
legacy for me is it's my bread and butter.
I have
It's
no
how I
problem
do.
with Legacy. The problem was the unbelievable input lag that
Oh, there
that
was a lot
game
of input
had.
lag. Yes, there was a lot of input lag.
It was
Like, if you want
really
to talk about
bad.
input lag and Smash, that game
Yeah.
controlled worse than Red Dead Redemption 2. That was terrible. It was impossible.
And what's funny for everyone listening is we played Golden Gun mode, which
Yeah.
means there's a golden gun on the map that you can pick
Yeah.
up, and it's a one-shot kill. And the game still went on, and it was first to 10, and I think it went on for more than 10 minutes. If I had to,
Yeah, it ended. The final score, I think, was you had 10, I had 9, and Tom had 1, I believe was the final score.
yeah, yeah.
I was struggling
Yeah,
with
But you
Tom
these
see
was
the way,
distraught.
controls.
but you were struggling with the legacy controls, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Plus the
So
lag, because
picture,
it made learning them impossible.
yeah, but picture that,
The,
like
the
that's what
fact
I experience.
it did change my whole perception when Chris was like, you just push, because the whole thing is like it's not just inverted, but you're looking left and right as the option, like
But you're also
the
turning
left
that
thumb.
movement. You're also it's
I
still
understand.
part of the
When
movement.
Chris explained
Yeah.
that, almost like I was driving a warthog in Halo.
It is. That's
right?
exactly what it's like. It's like
Right.
driving. It's called.
Once I
It's tank controls. Is
once
basically
once
like.
once I understood that, I was like, okay, this is a bit easier. But then when it got to a situation where I'm trying to like avoid getting shot while
Yeah.
shooting at you, and you guys were like, oh, no, you just got to get the golden gun, so it's a one-off. Like, and I was like, well, there we go.
Well, I kept seeing you bring up the crosshairs. I'm like, stop trying to aim. Just
Yeah,
leave.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
use one
Stop
stick.
trying to.
Play
Yeah,
with one
don't do
stick.
that.
Don't use the other stick.
It's
Because
not like
the game didn't really use it because the N64 had one
no,
analog stick.
right. Your C buttons where you're strafing. So
Oh
the
Yeah.
my
C buttons on the
god,
side were how you strafed
Yeah.
gotcha.
And
and
how
looked
you
up and
could aim
down.
up and down.
Right, how you could aim up and down, but no one was doing that.
Or you could do what you were trying to do, which was pull up the crosshairs. But the game has
Yeah.
like pretty strong auto aim because it was like the first
Yeah,
FPS that like worked on a console. Like it like really worked, but like just bare.
Yeah, just barely for
Just
sure.
it's way. I mean, the lag made it incomprehensibly bad because
yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
fine with those controls, even though I think they're stupid.
They're not
Um,
stupid. How do you walk around? Do you walk around strafing? No, you turn. like
No.
a regular human being.
No.
Yes.
I turn my
Yes.
head, right? Like this. That's one stick. The other stick is my body.
Yeah,
Does
but you
this.
don't walk. You don't walk like this. Duh, duh. You turn. You can only turn when you look. Can't look if you don't turn. You can't turn if you don't look.
You're and you can't look if you don't turn, and you don't
The
turn.
breakdown here is
look.
Alex is arguing. See, the fundamental issue here is Alex is arguing that the stick turns at the hip, whereas I argue it turns at the head.
No, but what? Why do you have hips?
We should get rid of hips.
Have you seen always got to bring it back to Walkabout.
Yeah,
In the
bring it
new
back.
Elvis,
Yeah.
Hold 16 has Elvis's hips
Yeah,
back and forth.
Oh,
He's swinging, baby.
They're doing
He's
that.
swinging.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
What was worse?
You've all been
Goldeneye?
duped. You have all been brainwashed into the new.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No, because being able to fundamentally move with one stick and aim with the other.
But I am moving.
Is better.
Baby. I am moving with the turn.
No, because you're aiming with two sticks. If you need to aim there, you need to push to the right with your left hand and push up with your right hand. Like, that's psychotic.
Right, but here's the thing.
You're moving one crosshair. You're using two controls to do it.
But I've been doing it for 20 years. So now it is ingrained. It cannot be changed.
That's so good.
I'll say this, Tom.
Yeah.
Because I did bring it up later, and I'm excited to play it with you. I would like to try and do that this week, maybe over the weekend, maybe tomorrow.
Wow, thanks for the what the fuck.
You as well, of course. I mean,
yeah.
I brought it up in the chat already. You already got but I want him to play Perfect Dark because I know he hasn't played like the original Perfect Dark, really.
Dude, there's a gun in Perfect Dark that is absolutely ridiculous.
There's so many cool. I mean, there's so many.
Download that.
Like not just the multiplayer. There's so many things in that game that Tom's gonna be like, "Holy shit, this was in an N64." Like, there's so many forward-thinking things in that video game. It's unbelievable.
So this is a 360 remake of an N64 game.
Yeah, and it's
It's
awesome
the original
because
Perfect Dark, right?
because they updated it, the rare replay version. So it runs at 4K HDR, 60 FPS. Like, it's fucking sick. It plays incredibly well. They have a mode in the campaign, Tom. It's one of my favorite things of all time. I do not understand why this doesn't exist in like every campaign that has like multiplayer in a video game. They have counter operative where you're playing still the first player mode, but then I'm spawning as the bad guys with the bad guy weapons and health at their spawn point. So I'm going to try and stop you as the bad guys in the missions, and you're still playing. I'm not like, your player health. I'm just spawning in the lives of like, the NPCs that you come up. It's such a fucking cool mode. They really need to add that.
Was that in the original game, or was that?
Yeah, that's in the original game.
That's pretty sweet.
It's so cool. Imagine if we could do that in Halo. We're like, imagine like we let Tuna go be Master Chief, and you and I are spawning as like elites and brutes and like that would be unbelievable. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, would be cool.
But instead, they just ruined it.
Well, what in your opinion is worse, Goldeneye or the Marvel Rivals Dance of the Lion soccer game?
I mean, I loved that game by the end of it.
I mean, we were scoring.
Once we were running circles around other people, it got.
I mean, we lost the first 3 matches, just complete blowouts,
destroyed.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was embarrassing.
And then we held a team, I think, to time. I think they only got like 6 points or something.
We got,
and then we scored once and lost, and then we won.
Yeah,
it was like, I mean, we sucked big time at that bad game.
Yeah, it's apparently very similar to the Overwatch soccer game, which is been panned by Overwatch fans. Essentially, this mode, if you're playing Rivals, I don't know. Maybe it was just the easiest thing to make on a short turnaround. But you're playing as either Star-Lord, Black Widow, or Iron Fist. So it's a 3-on-3. It's those 3 characters. And you don't have the entire arsenal of skills for those characters. They get like one of their abilities each. Basically, whatever like knockback ability they have, that's what they get. And you're not you're not shooting or kicking the ball. You're just trying to grab it, and then you can throw it. And then to score a goal, you can't throw it in. You
You
have
got to
to
run it in like
carry
a
it in.
touchdown, or
Yeah.
like it's like
Yes.
rugby.
Yeah.
It actually,
And
the
if
game is basically more like rugby because you're not hitting the ball. You're catching, carrying,
well,
and throwing the ball.
well, I mean, rugby you can only throw behind you. Like, there's a bunch of
Sure, but I'm just saying
scrums and everything.
it's not like soccer where you're
How does
kicking the ball
handball
around.
work? I don't know what the rules of handball are, but I imagine it's more like this, right? Like
Yeah, maybe.
it's soccer with your hands. Yeah, it was really really tough, at least initially. But it was funny, yeah. In like that last match, we clearly were playing against people who it was also their first time. So now we were the vets, and we were running rings around them. So that was a bit fun. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, it was
I mean, I feel like I would
fun-ish.
play it again, but I'm not
Mm-hmm.
excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if we
sure.
go on Rivals, be like, "You want to do a match of that?" Like, sure, I'll do kind of like the Doom thing, like the Slayer
Yeah.
component that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, but
Like,
I have
I'll
much more fun with that.
I
Like I
definitely have
like
more fun
that.
with that.
Yeah, I like that
But
a
like
lot
we always
more.
play that probably like, a handful of runs. So we'll be like, yeah, sure, let's do a soccer match. Why not?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And like as that happens, every time we'll be less inclined because there'll be that some weird like contingent of people that really like it.
Oh, that's super.
And so
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
be the only ones still playing it. So like eventually we'll get on and it'll just be like they're doing things that don't even make sense to us. We're just getting absolutely destroyed. And then we never play it again.
Yeah.
And that'll happen in about 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
We've got like 2 more weeks of playing that match, and then that's
Mm-hmm.
done. So
That's right.
And then that's Dunzo.
you you were playing as Captain America earlier, I think. Maybe who are
I
you
play.
playing as, Tom?
I played for Kappas a bit. He has actually become probably on a. I haven't played Venom in a minute. That was my go-to Vanguard. Now it's either Cap or Magneto. Cap is just really good at like drawing fire and surviving,
Mm.
with his shield. Like it really, if you can just back up, and it really serves to like pull enemies away from the point or whatever it may be.
Mm.
Yeah, and he can just kind of like be annoying. So that's fun, and he can run. I mean, that's a plus. Any of the characters that can get to the thing faster or get out of danger faster, those are great. Yeah, so I play a bit of Cap. Honestly, like there's very few heroes that I won't jump into at this point. Like I've started using Cloak and Dagger for healing. Like I think they're
Mm.
really like they can like fuck you up. Um yeah, I mean I'm shocked as to I thought okay, well I'll have one of each
Yeah.
type and be done with it, but we all kind of jump around a little bit.
Yeah. I mean I really like Jeff and Punisher. I play as other people, but those are not really good
Yeah,
with anyone else yet.
Jeff
I
is
need I need a
definitely
I need a
like
tank. I need to figure
I'm
out how to
playing, I'm
play as well. I
playing.
mean, I'm actually okay as Venom. I just don't really like playing as Venom is the problem. But Venom's probably my third best player to character to use, but I just I don't really care for the character all that much. And I don't really enjoy playing as him.
Mhm.
Who?
So it's like
Who's this?
Venom.
Venom.
But
Yeah.
he's the best of the big guys for me. Like I haven't figured out how to play. I would love to be able to get good with Thor because I like Thor.
Just as a person.
Yeah. Like if I could just get
Just
beers
as a
with Thor.
person.
Right.
Like if you could get beers with anyone in the
Oh my
Marvel
god,
universe.
if we were living in like New Asgard or whatever,
Yeah.
and between when the Hulk and Rocket go to visit Thor and he's just playing Fortnite.
He's just playing
with
Fortnite. Oh my god.
fucking
That Thor would be so much fun.
what's his name? That's so yeah. We'd be friends with him, best buds.
Korg.
Mhm.
Korg. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Krug.
Krug.
Any other games or Tuna? Any off topic?
Mm. No.
So yesterday I dodgeball. I've now been
Hmm.
playing dodgeball for 10 years. I started winter
Oh.
2015, I realized, which is weird because I also then looked around and noticed there's probably only like a dozen people that I recognized that were there when I started at this point. And when I started, I was in my 20s.
Were
And
you
they
the
were
old
like,
man now?
yeah, there were older people, and the older people would slowly like, oh, I'm out for a season. Oh, I got hurt. I'm out for 2 seasons. Oh, and then they start wearing like braces and this and that, and then they just never come back one day.
Oh my
Just
God.
like I'm like, oh no, I'm that
Out to
person now.
pasture.
Well,
I'm that person. So like me and my core group of friends that I play with, we were all like, oh, we're the old heads now. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Wow.
I think I made an enemy for life last night at Dodgeball. There was like a guy on the other team. It was because it was the season just started. It was his first night, and I got him out like 6 times in a row.
Oh boy.
Most of the time, it was not on purpose. Like there were, like I just saw a ball coming and I just turned and caught it, and that was when he
This
was
is-
trying to get back at me for getting him out, and I hit him twice when I was aiming at someone else, and that person dodged, and then he was right behind them, and I got him. I hit him the first time I got him though. I got him right in the dick, and he went. He went.
Nice. Beautiful.
He went because he was like to the side, and so I threw across because I was on the other side, so he didn't see me, and so it just went like right in, and I hit him really hard, and I felt bad about it, especially when I found out like he was new, and then immediately in the next game, I got him out first, and then it was just like after the third time in a row that I got him out, I was like, this guy's gonna hate me.
This is just like when we were playing Smash, and Tuna was so annoyed because I kept
Oh,
going for him because he just was the closest target.
Okay. Okay.
let's do it. We didn't talk about Smash. We just talked about lag. So
Okay.
let's hear it.
So here's what's okay.
So first, Alex and I played a couple matches, and he didn't win like any.
No,
But
I was
go
getting my Smash sea legs.
Uh,
Then Tom jumps on. Okay. If you're a Smash player, you will know what I'm talking about right now. We're playing a
listening
1v1v1.
now.
Yeah, free for all.
Right? It's a free for all. We have a couple items on. Fine.
Yep.
Okay. Everyone knows that a smash move is a very powerful move, and that if you land a charged smash move, and the person that you're playing against has a decently high percent damage, they're gonna fly off the screen and they're gonna die. We're playing 3 stock. Okay? This is elimination, not who gets the most kills. So that's not timed. Okay. Next thing that everyone knows in Smash is that if you hold your shield too fucking long, or if you allow too much damage to occur to your shield in too short a period of time, your shield will break. And look, Tom's not even fucking paying attention right now. I'm giving you a Smash lesson.
Yeah, Smash.
I'm paying attention.
This is like when Sakurai did, like all the videos on Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Alex is teaching you.
So when your shield breaks, you become dazed, confused, unable to move.
Dazed, confused.
You get the cartoonish like Tweety birds flying
you
around
get the
your
Tweety
head.
birds.
Okay, and you're moving around. You like you're drunk. Okay, and
Yeah.
you cannot move. There's nothing you can do for not 1 second, not 2 seconds, but 5 fucking seconds got to pass before you can do anything.
It's
Okay?
just like in Looney Tunes when Elmer Fudd blows up the gun in his own face, and then you hear the birds, and he's like this.
Yeah.
And you gotta wait it. You gotta wait it out. You can't do anything.
Right. That everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows this. That when that occurs to your
Everyone
opponent,
knows this.
it is a free charge up smash move / if you got Captain Falcon or Ganondorf, a Falco punch. Okay, it is time for you to use your strongest move possible on the opponent.
It is basically a free kill a lot of the
It's
time.
a free kill. Okay,
Yeah.
because by the time this has happened, the damage is probably relatively high on this person. Okay, this happens to Chris. Okay, Chris is now dazed and confused.
Out of breath.
Okay, I am standing right next to him.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom is, I don't know what the fuck. Tom's jumping around in the background. I'm charging up a smash attack to hit him well off this stage.
Who was I playing as? Because I was basically just hiding the whole time.
Yeah, we'll get to this. That's another point.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
You're
we'll get to
catching
that.
fire too.
Yeah, we'll get to that as well.
We're both on
No,
the
this
hot
is about
seat.
you again, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Him doing his hiding bullshit. So Chris is dazed and confused. I'm charging up. I can see Tom. I can in my periph. I can see Tom moving around the stage, and I can see him getting close to me. Okay, and I'm like screaming into the mic, and I got a text from Britt being like, "Why are you yelling?" I'm screaming into the mic, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me!" Tom had no fucking idea what the fuck I was talking about. He had no idea that Chris's shield had broken,
Yeah.
which I thought was no awareness of what's going on screen.
No.
Number two, he was going to hit me if I didn't intervene. He was
He's
going
playing
to
with
stop
the
my...
sound off. Remember?
Well, I had the sound low because
It doesn't
we were
matter. He is
over
standing there
phone,
like
so
a
I didn't
goon.
want it
Yeah.
to come
He's
through.
standing there like a doof. Okay, he's not moving. Okay, luckily I hit Chris and he went off. Right,
Yeah.
but Tom had no fucking idea. He was like, "Why are you yelling at me?" Smash etiquette. When someone's shield breaks, get that fucker out of here. Don't be stopping me. I could understand. This is the ones I could understand if it was a time match and you didn't, and we were playing for the highest number of kills and you didn't want me to get that kill. Then I could understand. But because it's elimination,
Oh,
all right,
that's we weren't playing that mode.
another lack of awareness. So part two is that sometimes Chris, in particular, will go off to the edge of a stage or go off to some corner and go chill there, shooting
Yeah,
projectiles
Because I know.
or throwing boxes.
Because I know
or
I can
throwing
use Tom's
items.
strategy against you.
Right. So Chris will go do
It's
that.
not a strategy, as
It's
Tuna has
so
pointed out.
Chris will go do that, and then Tom will just chase me around the stage. And then I'll be also catching flack from Chris's bullshit that's going on in the corner. So I've got to like watch Tom, who has no attention, not paying attention to Chris whatsoever. And I'm yelling at Tom, "Why are you going after me? Go after the guy that's just standing there." And Tom's like, "I'm going after you because..." And Chris has more kills at this
That being
point.
said, I was
Got more
playing on
lives at this
random.
point.
I was Luigi. You were playing as
No, I
fucking
was playing on random,
Lucario.
too. No.
You were
Was it
Lucario.
it might not have been. It might have been another match as well because this happened multiple times. I just didn't call it out.
Yeah, but I kept getting
multiple
bullshit
times.
characters.
But I was getting. I as soon as after the first match, I put on random.
Yeah.
After I saw you were
Yeah.
another.
Well, that's
because
because you already lost to me on random. So
Another.
you figure what
Yeah,
do
but
I have to lose?
I started. If we're gonna do that, then I started winning by the time we were closing
We
up
played
shop.
like two more.
Yeah, and I won them both.
We'll go.
So-
All right. When this is over, we'll hop on. We'll have it out. 1v1. Final destination. No items.
No, I think we need to take Tom to Smash training camp. I think that's what needs to happen.
Boot camp.
Smash boot camp. He's not even paying attention now. If anyone watches
Smash
this on the
boot
video,
camp.
he's looking down at his phone. He's not paying attention. This is what happens. This is why the guy never finishes games
This
either.
is what happens.
Lack of awareness.
Yeah. Are you gonna finish Zelda?
The fact that Smash
Yes,
is still a
absolutely.
game. He's not going to finish Zelda. The fact that Smash is still a game that I'm using a controller that they came out with more than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay? Tom, get your shit together.
Yeah, get a GameCube controller.
We play Smash
Get an
about
N64
once every
controller.
we play Smash about once I would say once every 4 months we randomly get on Smash. So in that when we get on, I want you focused,
It's probably a little more than that, but yeah.
lasered.
Yeah.
Like
See,
Cyclops.
now that we just talked about Smash, I just want to play Super Smash.
I know, me
Bros.
too. Smash is a great game. Always go back to that well. It's a great game.
It's a great game.
Great game.
You know what else is a great video game?
How did we get on this?
Walkabout mini golf.
Oh yeah, Walkabout mini golf.
How about that?
So
Elvis
the
stage?
Elvis.
They announced a roadmap leading up to the summer. We got it looks like at least 3 more courses coming by summer, as well as an update that shows a door. There seems to be something that's like a club, possibly like new accessories or clothing or something. So there's probably a bunch of new stuff that's coming to the game as well leading up to the summer. But at least 3 more based on that roadmap. I don't know if that includes a remake based on their roadmap
It's got to
image
be
last year.
Seagull Stacks has got to
But
be
last year
remade.
it didn't
They
count
referenced it twice.
As a remake. Remember,
Oh.
they put out that roadmap and all of them were new. So it is possible
No,
that
Cherry
Seagull
Blossoms
Stacks could
was...
just it wasn't on the roadmap pictures though.
All right. Okay.
So it could just come in like a title update with whatever that door is. Like we could be
Right.
getting the door And then, because the thing I did notice is that is only about 18 weeks. Be 50, it would be 17 weeks from now at the
Uh,
pace that they put out courses. And if this is
yeah.
supposed to go to summer, that's not enough. Now, if there was a fourth course, like an updated course like Seagull Sacks, that came with the title update, because we got Cherry Blossom with the title update that also added the new modes like race and stuff. So that door, which is probably this new like way for the hub world, you just go in and out of courses without having to like the way the back out system works. That's my guess. Is I think the next thing we're getting is a title update, not a course. I think, Alex, we might be looking at 11 weeks before the next course.
What?
I think we're getting, this is my prediction. I think in 5 or 6 weeks, we're getting the title update with whatever this new, it's going to make the hub world. They're teasing it right now. There's this like subfloor system in the shack. If you go in the
Right.
shack, you can go downstairs.
You've seen
and
it.
it looks like Severance.
Yeah.
But have you seen what the doors do? Because only two
Oh,
of
maybe
them
not.
work.
Yeah.
Because they added one with the
Well, he
holiday
doesn't-
course. Now they added. So there's 2 doors now that like have lights on in them, and they both have like accessories from the courses. And if you try and grab the handle on them, it tells you that they can only be opened from the other side. So if you go to those prospective courses, one being Coyote Valley, the other being, what's the name of it, Tuna?
Shangri-La.
Shangri-La.
Shanghai.
You can find a door on those maps that opens into the hub world. So I think we'll actually be able to go back and forth. Like I think the shack is going to actually be like a real hub space where we'll be able to just walk in and out of any map we want. And they'll probably like update the way the load system
Oh,
works.
that'll be awesome.
Yeah. So I think that's what's coming next. And then 6 weeks later, we're getting our first map. So I think this is going to be a big, kind of like it was for Wallace and Gromit. We had Venice, and then we had that big like 12-week gap before we got Wallace and Gromit. So yeah, there you go.
We did all watch Severance as well.
Yeah, great episode, great start. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. I'm not
It's
concerned
hard to
at
talk
all
about. It's hard
about
to talk about the show without like spoiling anything.
yeah, I don't think we need to talk detail wise about anything.
Yeah.
But I want to say I was
Good
very
first episode,
concerned
that's all you need
about
to say.
possibly following up the first season, and the first episode's just as good as anything is in the first season. So
Yep.
I
Felt good
rewatched
about
it
it.
today. I rewatched the
Felt
first
good.
episode
Yeah,
today.
I
Felt
think I'm
good.
going to rewatch it.
So,
All right. What do you got?
Tuna, we did the Pokemon. He is the second worst Pokemon, the one that we did today.
What number is it? Let me just check for myself.
464.
Tom didn't add it into the list.
Oh wow. Yeah.
No, I did. I typed it.
Oh, did you? It didn't pop up on my end yet.
He's
but-
you put
okay.
him as the second worst ever?
on our list.
Yeah.
Look what they did to my boy. Like you thought the Magnezone update
Not
was
second
bad.
worst ever, but second worst this generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for certain.
Yeah. All right.
What are you eating, Tom?
It's cheese.
What kind of
cheese?
Brooke's just snacking on cheese. So she brought me some.
You got Borson?
No, it's from
You know
like a
what?
local deli or something.
You know what's interesting? They it's like a devolution. This
It's not great.
Rhyperior. No, it
Whatever.
really is. Like if you look at Rhydon, like if you look at not to rehash, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Rhyhorn is like, okay, like awesome fucking dinosaur type, like looking rhino fucking thing. And then Rhydon is like, okay, now we're bipedal chilling. And then Rhyperion, like, and he's tall, and Rhyperion is like all of a sudden he got like fat, stocky, like
He looks like a construction worker.
he looks. I was just gonna say he looks like
I
the
love
construction worker character from Hey Arnold.
Yep.
Ernie.
Yep. He looks like a construction worker.
yeah,
like
he
if you
looks
put a
stupid.
hard hat on him,
Yeah,
Come
he
on.
looks stupid. Terrible. All right. Anyway, news. Sorry.
that's why he's down there. Because the
Yeah,
previous
yeah.
evolution is a
Yeah.
it's
sure.
a top tier Pokemon.
Yeah.
The big news of the week. Xbox
Nintendo
had
Switch
their-
3.
Yeah, they're just doing back to back now.
Yeah.
like the last two Spider-Verse films. The big news of the week is Xbox had its developer direct earlier today. If you're listening now, aka Thursday, had its big developer direct. This is the third one they've done since starting it 2 years ago, and the first one is where we learned Hi-Fi Rush was a thing.
No
And
big announcements, I think, as good as that today.
I don't know. I think
Like,
that
as in, like, there's no shadow drops. I was hoping for a shadow drop.
well, we got the Ninja
Hmm.
Gaiden,
Yeah.
and last year
Uh,
didn't have a shadow drop. Last year's developer direct didn't have one, so
When
um,
I thought Hi-Fi Rush came out, like, basically, like, right after that.
yeah, that was the first. This is three.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So the last year, which is where we
Sure.
saw Indie for the first time, that
Oh,
didn't have a
what a
that
video
didn't
game.
have a shadow drop. Yeah, and we had seen all of these except for Ninja Gaiden 4, which was the first game they announced. This is a it says this is Koei Tecmo partnering with Platinum, who have done like Bayonetta and I mean a ton of other games, a ton of
Hmm.
action games. It says picking up after the story of Ninja Gaiden 3, the reveal trailer shows off a cyberpunk-esque Tokyo in chaos as a new ninja protagonist named Yakumo takes center stage. Franchise star Ryu Hayabasa is also a playable character and will serve as a major figure in the story as an obstacle for Yakumo to overcome. So they're like warring clans. Like this is like the Hayabasa clan, which the main character is from. This guy is from the other clan. Um, and it's meant to come out this fall. It's going to come out on multi-platform, but it will be on Game Pass day and date. It's been people have been waiting for a new Ninja Gaiden for a long time, so people are excited about this. Don't know how if you guys play. Did you guys play the original Xbox ones?
negative.
Because like I think Ninja Gaiden on the original Xbox was like a big deal for that console, and then the 360 had a bunch of Ninja Gaidens as well. All right. Okay. Well.
Well, I was gonna say I played the NES version.
Oh, sure, sure.
So
The actual original. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm excited for the
That
the one
retro
that was
remake
announced.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for. But
Yeah, that'll be
I
cool.
thought 4 looked cool as hell.
It does
Like it
look
looked like
cool.
Bayonetta, but it looked cool. I mean, it was like a ninja grinding on stuff. It was sick.
Yeah, it looked a bit like Ghost Runner, but first third person if you played Ghost Runner, which was
Sure.
cool. Is a cool and they made a sequel to that, in fact. Yeah, so if you're into Ninja Gaiden, there you go. Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out, but they did also reveal that they have remade Ninja Gaiden 2,
Put him in Smash.
which yeah, honestly surprised a little bit that he isn't in.
Yeah.
I would
He
have
could
bet
have he
money
would have
that
fit in great in Smash.
I bet money that he made a lot more sense, I think, than some of the characters that we
Yeah, the
ended
King
up
of Fighters
getting.
character and shit.
Yeah.
Although I get why people do that because you want fighting game characters, but eh.
So yes, they also revealed Ninja Gaiden 2, a remake of the 2008 game on the 360, is out now. It's on Game Pass, so you can actually go download it. It's made in Unreal Engine 5 and incorporates additions found in previous remakes like Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, while staying true to the over-the-top violence and the steep difficulty found in the original 360. Apparently, you can also tweak the difficulty as well, so you don't. This is notoriously a difficult game. First level, I didn't really have any problem with when I just like booted it up earlier, but who knows? But you can tweak the difficulty. Next thing we saw was South of Midnight. We saw a story trailer kind of setting up what happens. It's very much a kind of Wizard of Oz situation. There's a
Yeah.
flood that this character gets caught up in. She's searching for her mother in this like mystical world. She is a weaver. She can wield magical powers. Uh, Honestly, looks really cool, and I think them saying April 8th is when this is coming. I think that's a great time. I think that that's going to be, it's far enough away from some of those bigger February releases like Monster Hunter and Assassin's Creed and all of that. But it's before, the fall. Like putting this out in the fall, it would have gotten lost, I think. I think putting it here in April is a really good time. And I'm excited for this one. I think it looks really, really cool.
Oh yeah, excited for
Tuna,
it too.
Chris,
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't
thoughts?
wait.
I just said I was excited for it too.
All right.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Okay.
I think it looks awesome. I'm just
Curious about the gameplay.
look, I think Xbox has really only delivered like on one game so far this generation, being Indiana Jones. I think
Yep.
Halo Infinite was an incredible game that was not ready.
Jesus
So
Christ.
Forza, but
it fell apart.
Not,
yeah, Forza's,
not,
but like I just don't give a shit
cup
about
of tea.
Forza.
Yeah.
I
Who
guess is what
cares
that
about
comes down
Forza?
to.
Get out of here.
I would love. There's the idea of a car game and some of the things that are in Forza is so interesting and seems like something I should like. And I just don't like the way the driving feels in those games. And I wish arcadey racing still existed as a thing. But maybe that will come back on a like indie level at some point as indies continue to make more like 3D games now. Maybe that's what that needs to be. But man, I miss. Did you ever play Blur? Did you
No,
ever
I
play
never
Blur?
played it.
Oh, Blur was sick. It was like it's probably like one of the last arcadey racing games. Kind of felt Tuna like cruising and stuff like that.
Loved cruising.
Kind of felt like Rush, except it was also like, what if we made Rush, but kind of like Mario Kart? So it looked like real cars and environments, but there were power ups, so you could like get boosts and there were certain weapons. It was pretty sick.
Right.
It wasn't like Twisted Metal though. It wasn't like a battle thing. It was still a race.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that there is a little bit of something to, I think some game studios are looking to that era of gaming. I think that, the Ninja Gaiden is going to be, obviously the remake 2 is very faithful, it seems, to the original, but I don't think that 4 is somehow going to be some kind of like Souls-like. I think it's going to feel very 2000s. And, we got Space Marine last year that people really enjoyed and kind of pointed to it feeling like a 360 era game. I think we're going to get more of those kinds of games. It makes sense based on the, where, 20 years ago, we're entering now the beginning of that generation, right? Like it's literally this fall, it will be 20 years since the 360. And so,
which means it will officially become a retro game system.
Yeah. So I think that like those kinds of vibes are going to start kind of coming back and that kind of game. And I think that studios, when they're looking to make smaller games like that, it's not just world size, it's systems, it's mechanics, it's all these other things. And I think hopefully we'll get a wave of great games like that. So who knows, maybe something like Blur will return. But the next game they showed off was Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This is from a new French studio called Sandfall Interactive. It's got an all-star cast led by Charlie Cox, aka Daredevil. And we've seen this at the Game Awards. This is the turn-based fantasy game. It's about there is this witch and she paints a number and whoever is that old dies. And so this is it's like for some reason there's this tree that appears and like there's this witch and she paints a number on it and whoever is older than that number like gets Thanos dusted. And
it's so like she writes 2.
She's going down. So it seems that like she started at 100 and then the next year it was 99 and then the next year it was 98 and now she's on 33.
50. Oh.
And so it's called Expedition 33 and it's about these people going to like take her down or whatever. And it's turn based but it has like timing mechanics, so times for blocks, times for attack boosts, things like that. It looks very, very cool. This is also coming out in April 24th, and will launch on Game Pass, but it will be on PC and PlayStation as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then we ended with Doom: The Dark Ages. We also saw this at last year's Summer Game Fest. The big thing with this being that they said that the kind of monikers for the 3 Doom remakes, starting with Doom 2016, was Run and Gun for 2016. Then for Eternal, it was jump and shoot, because they added a lot of like verticality and
Dude,
movement
Returnal,
mechanics. Or
Returnal's
Eternal.
one of the coolest games I've ever played.
Returnal and Doom Eternal, both great games.
Yeah, but I heard you say Returnal.
I gotcha. Oh, I said Returnal? Oh,
Well,
there you go.
I think you said Eternal, but my brain
Okay.
heard Returnal, and then I
I
was just
gotcha.
like, I was thinking about Returnal earlier, and I almost thought about trying to convince Alex to play Returnal, and then I would just replay it because it was so good. And then I was like, no, I'm going to try and convince him to play Armored Core 6, and then you completely stopped any momentum that I was going to be gaining.
I don't think we have. You want to play Armored Core 6, Tuna? I've got it. I'm ready. I'll play it.
We'll see.
It takes you got to put in the time to convince Tuna to play something. You know?
Look, it's from Software. He'll like it.
Yeah, it's Elden Ring.
So the
But with Gundams.
So
just say yes. I know that's not true, but just say yes. He likes those two things. You know.
So Doom: The Dark Ages, the kind of moniker for it is stand and fight. So it's you're a bit of a heavier character. You're not running around and jumping around as much. It is really about like just taking things head on. They showed off this chainsaw shield. All of these different weapons look great, and it's about parrying attacks and like really just dealing as much damage as possible. Looks fantastic. I think that this is going to be another excellent first-person shooter from this team. And this is also slated for early this year. It's going to be in May. So May 15th is when it is releasing. Also launching on Game Pass, but will be available for PlayStation and PC at that time as well. So,
oh yeah,
lots of little great games. I mean, if they add Fable, if Fable does come out this year, if what else have they got on the docket? I feel like Avowed. If Outer Worlds comes out this year, this could be this could be the year. This could be Xbox this year.
If GTA comes out this year, it's GTA's year.
And then whoever has if
GTA and Nintendo Switch come out this year, not having a big title from Xbox or Sony is like, it doesn't even matter this year because it's gonna suck it's all people will talk about is whatever the new Mario game is, whatever the Switch 2 is, and like everyone's gonna instantly forget the prior whatever months, It's like they're going to dominate. Well, there is the chance that GTA 6 is just a flop. It'd be wild.
Is there a chance that it flops?
I think so.
I guess there's always a chance of anything.
I mean, it depends on what you consider
like. What if people just don't like it? What if it's too woke?
Sells? No, it's not going to be too woke because when people say
I would like
woke,
to see.
I would know what they're talking about.
I would definitely like to see an improvement to the shooting mechanics.
Yeah, of course. And the movement mechanics.
Like, I would like to see an improvement.
Yeah, it would be awesome if the game was more fun to actually play, like to control.
Yeah. Like, I remember when we were playing and we were doing the missions, like when the online first came out, we got apartments, like someone, we bought a cool apartment, we could do cool things in it and stuff, but that got stale. Like, it definitely got stale.
Although they do I'm hoping they build it because they added first person and then they added first person to Red Dead as well, from what I understand.
First person was in Red Dead at launch.
Oh, okay. I'm hoping that means that this will have first person at launch.
Will.
Because first person
will.
Man, that world is so much more interesting in first person, especially at scale. Like that would be so fucking sick. God, I would love to be able to play a GTA in VR. Like just the PSVR 2, the PlayStation 5 should be powerful enough to run like GTA 5 in VR. It should be. Maybe not the PS5 version, maybe like, the PS4 version or whatever, but like it should be powerful. God, that would be so sick. That would make the game way more interesting.
How long do you think you'd be in VR before you like how much
I
of
would
GTA
always play in
6
VR.
you would just always play in VR? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding?
I
Think
mean,
about like also all of the like things you could do in that game that would suddenly become so much more fun in VR. Like it would be fun in that game to just be like, "Hey Tuna, let's take the mountain bikes up the hill." And then
Mm.
just like basic like let's get on a jet ski and just fucking jet ski in the like all of those basic things at VR scale would be unbelievable. It would be unbelievable. Oh, that's the dream. It's the dream. Speaking of what may or may not come out this year, last week in our post show for Spartans, we
Mm.
did a draft for the video game fantasy league. So I'm just going to go over all of our picks, okay?
Go ahead.
I already did a drop. I dropped a game last week. I dropped Hyper Light Breaker, I think, is what I dropped. Let me see.
Okay.
And then I tried to bid on a game. Yeah, I did. I tried to bid on a game, and then if you wait until Thursday to make a bid on a game, it tells you can't because it's now the public bidding
Process.
period.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I
Mm.
forgot now 2 weeks in a row to bid on a game. So I just need to remember to do it like on Sunday or Monday. Just like setting a alert. All right. So my team is the macro data refinement team. I have Split Fiction. I have the untitled next Mario Kart for the Switch 2 and the unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer for the Switch 2. Man, I can't believe I got lucky and neither of you thought of those before I got my back-to-back picks. The second I realized I could make those picks, I felt very lucky with that.
Do you think there's going to be a Mario Kart and a main Mario game this year?
Yeah. I thought
The
there's
rumors
for
are
sure.
that there will be, yeah.
Yeah, I thought for sure we're getting 3D Mario because pretty much every console's had like a 3D Mario, except the GameCube, which I think came out later. I think it came out maybe like in the summer, so I think it wasn't like at launch. So if this has
Right.
a summer or late year launch, it might not be in 2025. That being said, it doesn't seem to be the case. The
Oh,
rumors have
you're
lined
not
up
saying that
saying
because GameCube did have a Mario game.
He's saying
Luigi's
at
Mansion.
launch.
Oh, at launch.
Yeah, at launch.
Oh, because Sunshine is a GameCube game.
Yes.
Yeah, but Sunshine
that-
came out in the summer, so it didn't come out in the year the console launched because the console launched in the fall.
Got it.
So if that had happened, if we were playing the 2001 fantasy draft and I drafted a Mario game, I wouldn't have gotten the game because it would have been the
Right.
next year.
Right.
But that appears to be the case. We got Death Stranding 2, Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, and Jurassic Park Survival. Those three games are all games I do not expect to come out. But if they do,
Okay.
they might land.
Mhm.
So like
Sure.
I basically have empty slots. I basically have half my team empty with like a couple of big swings on if they come out. So I'm gonna have to draft. And my counter pick is Fable because I'm hoping I don't think it's gonna come out this year. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna get delayed. If it does, that just fucked me. Like if that game comes out this year, that's bad because it could be awesome. So, optics and design to Alex has Grand Theft Auto 6, great call. Ghost of Yote, Sid Meier's Civ 7, Fable, Borderlands 4, Pokemon Legends ZA, The Outer Worlds 2, and MLB Show 25. He's also got my Jurassic Park Survival as his counter pick. And Tom's going for 5 games, has Elden Ring Night Rain, Monster Hunter Wilds, Slay the Spire 2, Doom in the Dark Ages, Citizen Sleeper 2, Star Wars Vector. What an absolutely ridiculous title. Avowed, Blueprints, and Demon School, with his counterpick also being my Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. And there we go.
We shall see. We shall see.
Upcoming
And
releases.
important.
The first
go
one
ahead.
is Citizen Sleeper on the 31st.
Important to note as well, this year we just kept it small. So
Yeah.
we only have these 8 slots. We can drop games and add games,
Yeah.
but we don't have empty slots this year.
Yeah, we
So
had too many empty slots in the past, and then it basically just we would forget to go and draft games and you wouldn't, and then you would get all the big game drafts, and then we
Yeah.
would just end up with empty slots and you would win by default.
great.
So that was dumb. Go back to the old system. So
All
we
right.
can just have I mean, none of us really have weak titles, which
No,
makes it more
if
interesting.
all of these games come out, I assume it'll be relatively close.
If all of these games come out, this is going to be one of the greatest years of video games.
That's going to be another excellent video game. Yeah,
It's just every year now.
it is. It really is just every year now because
Yeah.
last year was a fucking banger too.
What
Like
do you
2020.
think?
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, what?
I was gonna say 2023. Like I think like for me was the one that is like all time greats, but I do think that last year was close to that as well, and this year will probably be, especially if GTA 6 comes out.
What do you think the big indie game
Will be
is gonna be this year that like we don't know about? Like
that we don't know
or
about.
do you think we
Well,
don't
I
know
mean,
about it, or do you think like because I feel like for several
think
years in a
there's-
row,
yeah.
there's been a couple big indie games that just come out of nowhere, and
There
it's like,
will
are we gonna get that this
inevitably-
year?
There inevitably will be something. I don't know if we're gonna get another Balatro like last year,
Oh.
but we will get.
Or Inscription?
Yeah, but Balatro was a breakout success commercially, and Inscription was a success, but it wasn't like, oh, this might actually win Game of the Year. Was
Sure.
Inscription even up? I don't even.
I think it was
up
on
for Game of the
Indies
Year.
or something
It
like
was
that.
definitely on the indie
Yeah.
list for sure. But Balatro recently announced they sold 5 million units, which is a phenomenal number for an indie title. So I don't think we'll get a Balatro, but we'll have something. But I think that if Silk Song comes out, like there's a ton of great indie games that we know that I think it'll be a great year for indie games as well.
Moonlighter 2 is coming this year.
And not
Do like
Earthblade,
Moonlighter.
the next game from the Celeste team, because that got cancelled, unfortunately. But lots of good stuff. Last little bit of news here, quick. We'll run through this. The top 20 best-selling games of 2024. We finally have this data. So
Finally.
in reverse order from 20, going down to 1. In 20th, we have NBA 2K. In number 19, we have Marvel's Spider-Man 2. That one did release, the year prior, so that is left. It didn't launch in 2024, so lots of copies still sold there. 18, Tekken 8. 17, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. 16, Minecraft. 15, Grand
That's
Theft
crazy.
Auto 5.
It's crazy.
15 is Grand Theft Auto 5. MLB The Show at 14. WWE 2K24.
Only 14 games came out this year that sold better than Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
This industry is fucked.
Yep. Oh, just wait till we get to the top. WWE 2K 2024 was at 13. Dragon's Dogma 2 was at 12. So Dragon's Dogma 2 outsold Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, which is kind of nuts. 11 was Hogwarts Legacy, again a game from over a year prior, like almost a full year, because Hogwarts Legacy was like February of 2023, so that's leftover. That came in at 11. Then we had I don't know what the EA Sports MVP bundle is. Oh, Madden. Oh, it's combining Madden 25 and College Football 25. So there you go. I guess that was popular. Elden Ring at number 9, which came out early 2023. EA Sports, Football Club, Modern Warfare 3, the prior year's Call of Duty at number 7. Madden NFL 25, NBA 2K 25, 5. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero at 4. So that game sold a ton of copies.
Wow.
Helldivers 2 at number 3 was the
Wow.
third best-selling game of
Wow.
last year, which is, I mean, kudos to them. Second place was College Football 25, and then first was Black Ops 6, was the best-selling game of last year, continuing a 16-year-long streak of Call of Duty being the best-selling video game every single year.
Wait, that means it beat out GTA in the year that GTA launched?
Yeah. I mean, it's been
That's
16 years.
crazy.
Hmm.
Huh?
What was the year before it
Grand
happened?
Theft Auto 6 is coming out this year. That might be the end of their run.
Yeah, this um might be the end of that
That's
for sure.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there you go.
Email at unrankedpodcast.com, or you can do like some of these folks that went to our Discord. They went to questions for the pod. I left a question there. Sorry, I'm waiting for the Discord to load. It decided it needed to update when I opened it.
Yeah, I had an update
I'll
too.
just go on my phone. All right. The official Tuna fan club, Slater said, got a question for your big P. Okay. A little question for little
What?
Q for your big P. The podcast.
What? Oh.
Little Q for your big P. I'm really enjoying this trend of higher quality roguelikes. Seems like Returnal and Hades kicked it off, and now trademark AAA franchises are adopting the trend like Hitman and Elden Ring. My question is, what franchise would make for a good fit for a roguelike mode? Don't feel obligated to read my answer on the pod. I'm going to read it anyway because it's good. My answer, Borderlands. This franchise already has most of the elements you need for a roguelike, and it's desperate for reinvigoration. You have great randomized loot system, unique bosses, diverse biomes. All they really need to do is pare the experience down to an hour. And it seems like people agree. People agree. Or Gunfire Reborn, Gunspot said. So, I mean, Borderlands, roguelike, be pretty cool. Be pretty cool. I've got one for you. It's a video game franchise, kind of, but it is a franchise.
Mm.
They have video games. I wouldn't base it on any of the video games they have. But this came up in our text chat, a One Piece Grand Line roguelike, where you have to go from island to island to island. And they can use islands that aren't in the main story where like other people came from, so they can do like non-canonical stuff. And we could just not be playing as Luffy. It could take place, a year before Luffy set sail. So like that way also like any characters that maybe aren't around, or like you kind of have everyone available in the
Yeah.
story. It would be sick. Imagine like the beginning of the game, you decide like whether you're a devil fruit user or not, or like maybe you don't start out with the devil fruit, but you can get one on one of the paths that you choose at the beginning, and like there's different devil fruit options, kind of like Hades, right? That can determine what your play style is going to be like. That would be awesome. Give me a One Piece roguelike. That would be sick.
I mean, I think Zelda's primed for it, right? Like the dungeon structure.
Zelda roguelike would be such a risk for that. It would have to, I feel like it would have to be 2D. I don't,
Yeah,
do you
I
think
think it
that
would,
they
and
could
I
put
think it
the
would be, I
effort
think it
into
would
a
be
3D
licensed.
Zelda?
I think they would license it. I think they give
Oh,
they
just let the
give it
Hades
to.
people make it.
Yeah, I mean, give it to Supergiant. Like that would be fucking so sweet.
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just with like how how it's literally a dungeon based. You just have some kind of, maybe it's a small mode, even like, and I think Breath of the Wild added that. It added a Breath of the Wild had that tower.
It did.
There's
It did have
100
that.
levels, and it was tough. Like
Yeah.
I think I got to like level 30, and then like just found it very difficult. So it could just be a mode in a game or something. But yeah, I mean, I think Zelda definitely you could do a full-fledged roguelike
Yeah.
Zelda, I think.
Is there a Dragon Ball Z roguelike?
No,
No,
but
that'd
that
be
would be
sick.
sick.
That'd be
Yeah.
so sick.
Jinx.
What would the combat be like?
I mean, I'm picturing it like isometric Hades like
Okay.
kind of
So
a thing.
it's another
Oh,
just Hades
sweet.
like
That
Dragon
would be
Ball.
awesome.
Mhm.
Okay. That would be pretty cool. I'd
I
be
like
down
it.
for that. Oh, even also like, what about like a Metroid roguelike?
Mm.
Do like a
Sure.
2D platform map at roguelike, where
Sure.
like they like generate the paths and stuff that you go through.
Right.
The one thing I guess you're not going to really be backtracking.
Right.
So it would just be more like you'll come across different systems that you either can or can't traverse based on like, oh, did you get the grapple hook, or did you get like portals or the double jump, like whatever,
Mhm.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
play it.
Also a Portal roguelike.
Look, there's a lot of franchises. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Halo
Yeah.
roguelike.
Hey, I was thinking Halo. Yeah,
Halo
Halo.
roguelike would actually be pretty fucking sick. Although it is a little bit like Firefight.
A little bit.
Is it? I don't know.
A little
Is that the arcade one?
Yeah. But
Well, no. Yes.
no.
A
It's the
little.
one where like we play against the enemies and then it's in rounds and they keep escalating. The
Oh,
the
like
firefight that's in
horde
Infinite
mode,
is a
right?
lot more limited and scripted and it's short. Whereas like they
Mhm.
used to have like endless firefight and like you had like if you get through different zones, you would get like more upgrades, but like the enemies would just get more and harder as it goes on. Like,
What's
but
the
you
name of
weren't
the
getting
arcade
upgrades.
machine? Halo Raven,
Yeah,
Fire
Halo.
Raven or something?
Yeah, something.
Fire
I
Team
think it
Raven,
is
maybe.
Fire Team Raven. I
Raven.
think it is
Yeah,
that.
gotcha.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all great suggestions. Man, Hades 2, full release this year. Ooh.
Yeah. I hope to be playing it on my Nintendo
Switch
Switch too. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping by like June I'm playing Hades 2 on Nintendo Switch 2. That would be pretty sick. That'd be pretty sick. Man, if we get a new Mario, a new Metroid, a new Mario Kart this year,
God,
that's a banger year
dude.
for Nintendo.
This
Banger
is
year.
it's a big year. Big year.
Yeah.
Big year for the
Yeah.
big boys.
There's second question here.
Oh.
Okay.
And then we can call it so we can talk about Ponyo.
No guy.
Narca said, I was listening to one of my other podcasts, Triple Click. They do a game each year where they pick 10 predictions that the winner at the end of the year gets everyone to play the game of choice over the next year. So I was wondering, what are some of your predictions for this year in gaming? That's Jay Schrey's podcast, right?
Yeah.
Thomas.
You know, I talked to you guys about like we should have done like a bingo board.
Right.
Mm.
I mean, we could do that for next week.
Well, why don't we come up with a handful right now?
Sure.
And then I can assemble a bingo board for us for next week
Mm-hmm.
based on that. But let's come up with some first, see if it's worth following down there.
Sony cancels more live service games. Like we basically just get an announcement every like couple of months. It's like Sony canceled this project. Sony canceled this project.
GTA 6 is going to be $100.
I honestly do think that there is a good chance that it is. Like,
Alex's face. Alex's face.
I think people
Why?
are deluding themselves and thinking, what do you mean why? Because they can charge $100 for it.
And because of the
it won't
tariffs,
affect
baby.
The tariffs.
I mean, like if the tariffs do happen, it's inevitable that kind of gaming prices, console prices go up. There's now rumors that the Switch could be 450, maybe even 500, whereas the rumors before were 4.
Yep.
I can see it. I can see a $500 Switch. Honestly.
Are they going to have multiple versions, like storage?
Multiple
Do you think we're going to
SKUs?
have like 2
No.
storage units, or is it going to be?
No, I think they'll give it like 500 gigs or something. Call it a day.
Do you think we're going to get 500 gigs?
I mean, I think
I guess we
get
like
less.
have to, right? If it's going to get games like Call of Duty.
Like it's not. It's I mean, look, 32 gigs was criminal in 2017 when that was the max. But at this point, like look, here's the thing. The architecture, the storage has to be so fast, right? Like to play the games that it's rumored to be playing, like the games that are ported and like what this thing is actually capable of, like it needs to have a certain storage speed, especially if it has like things like super sampling, like upresing, like you need fast storage. At this point, like they don't really make like 256 is the lowest, 128 maybe is the lowest that it'll be. I could see it being 256, but I think they just, especially if they charge 500, I think they make it a 500 gig thing. But because if it's going to support more, like Halo Master Chief Collection is like 100 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And it's rumored to be coming to the Switch. How are they going to store
and Microsoft said they were going to make Call of Duty for the Nintendo Switch, and my guess is that meant for the Switch sequel.
Yeah, 100%.
So
So yeah, it's gonna get expensive. I can see Call of Duty
I wonder
6
what kind of
being
expansion storage is
$100.
it going to be? Like micro SD is not fast enough, is it?
Micro SD is fast enough.
Is it?
Yeah, because the Steam Deck and all of these
Yeah.
handhelds, it's not as fast as these kind of small M.2 drives, but it's fast enough to boot games.
Yeah.
Um, but like yeah. So GTA 6 costing $100, I see it. I see it happening, honestly. Um, uh, I don't think it'll cost 70. Like if
Yeah.
I was, I think it will be more.
You think we're getting Hall effect sticks and the new Joy-Cons?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So the return
Even though
of
that the
Joy-Con
rumors are that
drift.
we are,
Turn of
yeah,
Joy-Con drift.
I don't think they're gonna put Hall
Man,
effect.
you're optimistic. I could totally see Nintendo being like, nah, 256 gigabytes. That's what you're getting.
I mean, I'd rather have 256 with Hall effects than no Hall effects and
Yeah,
500
that's
gig
true. Because I'm gonna have to buy
storage.
expansion anyway.
I'm gonna need expansion,
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna need
there's no
expansion
way the
anyway.
Switch 2 is
That's
gonna be a
true.
terabyte. They're not
Yeah,
gonna
that's
make it a
true.
terabyte.
That's true. That's interesting. Huh.
Any predictions, Tunes?
GTA won't come with online.
Okay. Yeah.
Dave.
How about this? Do you think GTA is coming this year?
Yeah. I think Miyazaki's gonna make one more movie.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
gonna make a video game.
See, here's the interesting thing is I did want to do that. That was the thing I actually wanted to do was, and maybe that makes more sense for us instead of making like predictions about what video games are going to come out and things like that. Maybe what we should be
Mhm.
doing is making predictions about things that will happen this year.
Oh God, I don't know.
That's
Do
what
we
we
There's a
should
want
lot
be.
that
to
I could. There's a
Do we
That's
want
what
to
lot.
we should be
open
predicting.
Pandora's box?
That's what
Oh
we should
my
be predicting.
god.
I did make so
Stay within
Matt,
the
Alex, and
bubble.
I made Matt, Alex, and I bingo boards for 2025 One Piece manga.
Mhm.
So
Tom, when you were here, did you take or see my like battery pack that I had here? I
Battery
can't.
pack
Yeah, I can't find this fucking thing.
for like your phone?
Yeah.
No, I didn't touch that. We'll see. We'll see it. I have plenty of my own too, so I don't need to
Well, I
steal
mean, you're a klepto,
yours.
so you know.
Yeah. So it's
a little known fact for everyone.
Yeah,
Tom
little
just
known
steals
fact about
stuff from
Tom that he
everywhere he
steals
goes.
everything.
Yeah.
Tuna misplaced his fucking smash button 8 years ago at this point. Almost 8 years, and he still is like, Tom took that fucking smash button. I don't even know where my fucking smash pin is.
I have
It's
mine
probably
still.
with mine. Probably with mine.
Yeah,
have
because
mine.
you lost both of them. That's why.
That was wild when we went and got to play Smash early. And then
E3.
we saw Reggie when we were playing Pokemon early. That was
Oh,
sick.
Mhm.
so speaking of which,
Okay, here we go.
I was going to mention it earlier, but we got sidetracked. I went to the Tuesday. I went to the New York Video Game Awards.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so this
Great.
is just a
Yeah.
local thing. It's Geo gave away an award.
Oh, that's
He
awesome.
had a great he gave away the music award and he had a great joke about Hi-Fi
Great.
Rush because Hi-Fi Rush won last year for them, and then like a couple of months later it was like, oh, shutting down the studio. So that was cool. But Reggie is a board member and he was hosting as well, and he was trying he was I was like, Reggie, are you trying to become a stand-up comedian in your fucking retirement years? Like he was trying all this material, it felt like. And he showed off pictures of his lasagna. He was like, this is my world famous lasagna, and it looked fucking disgusting.
Fuck.
He showed a picture of it before it went in the oven, and it looked like he put big blobs of mozzarella on top.
Oh boy.
And so, yeah, and so it looked like when it came out of the oven, like it had like melted marshmallow on it. It looked awful. It looked so bad. Um,
No
he
accounting
lives
for
in New York
taste.
now. He apparently moved back to the city. Um, but anyway, Reggie.
Alex, you missed what happened earlier. I did the previously on,
Yeah.
and then at the end of the previously on, as it was ending, I realized I never hit record.
Oh my
So I
god.
hit record.
Is there a way you
Tom.
could just like record automatically?
And yeah, no. Let's say
Okay.
no. Let's say
Okay.
no. The answer is
Alright.
yes, but no.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see you here next time. Next week, same time, same place. Stay unranked.
Tom Ken.
Second.